But yeah, second Warner Brothers.
What's good, everybody? So tonight we're going to talk about obviously the biggest news, probably of the biggest stories of the year. Netflix winning the bid for Warner Brothers, and will probably eventually will own Warner Brothers with an $82.7 billion deal. Supposedly 72 billion is with cash and stocks. The rest, who knows what that is. But what does this mean for DC and all the other like awesome IPs that Warner Brothers has had? Its entire studio run. Not just DC, but Looney Tunes, Wizard of Oz, Harry Potter, Game of Thrones,
all of it.
HBO Max, all their IPs. It's pretty much means Netflix will own all those IPs. And I guess if you've been paying attention to what Tom Campia has been saying, and I'm sure Kristen Harloff and some other people who are really like in depth with what's going on in the studios and all this other stuff. I would recommend you check out John Campia and hear what he has to say, because he's giving more of a big breakdown on this, which is pretty good for someone who doesn't really know the movie stuff or the studio stuff or the business side of these kind of things. For me, I think this is the third time Warner Brothers has been bought by another company in the last 7 years. First was AT&T, which when they bought that, they were trying to do a streaming service, and they kind of almost destroyed the relationships with a lot of people in the movie business by trying to be more streaming and less movie theaters and some other stuff. It almost destroyed the studio and almost destroyed everything that they bought, and just next year Discovery bought it a couple of years after that, and then Zaslav and Discovery built the brand back up. They had a successful year in 2025 with their movies. I think they had like 10 movies that are number one or close to it for the opening weekend box office. I mean, they made some money. Superman, Minecraft, Final Destination, Sinners. I'm sure there's plenty more movies we can probably throw out there. Conjuring made some money. That's the other thing. That's the other thing. Netflix owns Conjuring too, so it's like they own pretty much anything that Warner Brothers has as an IP. Is that good for business? Probably not. I mean, it's just the last 3-4 years, Disney bought Fox and Netflix bought Warner Brothers, so we now know who are like the two. We have the final three, Disney, Netflix, and Paramount as like our entertainment. When we talk about big names or big companies for studios, I'm kind of wait and see mode. Like it was with AT&T and Discovery. Let's see what they do. Let's see what they do with the IPs.
Yeah.
John Campia said it's probably took a year before they officially own Warner Brothers and that stuff, which it's true. I mean, they just won the bid, so now they're in the negotiation stages and trying to figure things out. Obviously, you have Paramount, throwing a whole tantrum over because they offered more money and yada, yada, yada. And they felt very sure they were going to get Warner Brothers, but the story's out that they were talking to Zach Ryder about his Joker Harley movie and stuff like that, which again, they didn't own Warner Brothers, but that's a rumor out there. So they're very sure of themselves they were going to get Warner Brothers. Obviously, Netflix came in and outbid them, or Warner Brothers went with their bid, and that was it. So that's where we are now with this. I think what this is mean for our movies and all this other stuff. I think right now everything stays the same, at least for the next year and a half, until we start seeing more and more Netflix come in and make some changes.
Yep.
And that's what the studios are going to do. They, when AT&T bought Warner Brothers, they made some changes after 1 year and a half. Discovery, when they bought Warner Brothers, they did the same thing. They made a year and a half. It took them a year and a half to make some other decisions and things like that. So I expect the same thing with Netflix. Whatever they're saying now, they probably are just trying to keep the peace and because they probably don't even know what they're going to do and what their next move is. Right now, they're still they're in negotiations. And once they're done with that, probably within a year, they'll probably start evaluating everything Warner Brothers has. And then probably 2027 is when they'll really start making their changes.
Well, I was going to make a suggestion for people real quick. It's, good that you mentioned that. So it's very simple, guys, and everybody listen up, right? Just in case, buy everything you can as much as possible physical from Warner Brothers. Trust me on that, because something tells me they might actually take some titles and say, put them out of print.
Yeah, I can see that happening. I mean, Netflix isn't known for having DVDs or Blu-rays and other stuff out there, so I think that's going to be a big change. And I think if you're a fan of physical media, it's a big deal that Netflix bought Warner Brothers because you're going to see less and less physical copies of movies and DVDs. You'll probably see people burning things and buying them somewhere on a black market or bootlegging markets.
Yep, I can see them doing that.
That's kind of where you're probably going to get your physical copies at some point, which it's kind of sad, but I feel like that's what Netflix might be doing probably by like 20 by middle of 2027.
Yeah.
But overall, I'm very curious to see what Netflix does. Obviously, they're going to keep James Gunn, Peter Safran, and some of the other leaderships at DC and Warner Brothers for now. I'm sure that, like I said, they're going to evaluate everything and see whether or not these guys are worth keeping around after 1 year or a year and a half.
Yeah.
James Gunn's working on his Superman Man of Tomorrow. You got Matt Reeves working on the Batman. You got stuff already greenlit for DC, which right now they're going to have to honor. They also have a movie. The movies will still go to theaters at least until 2029 because apparently Netflix will have to honor that.
My question is with that, because we are getting that new Batman animated movies that are coming out in 4 parts. I just hope those are still going to be like physical releases that we'll be able to buy, which I think it will be.
I think so too. I think the first 2 or whatever ones they have coming out first will probably be physical copies and digital, but
Yeah.
I don't. Who knows where the next 2 movies will come out after that? I mean, Netflix right now they're still in negotiation stage, to officially own Warner Brothers. But right now, because they've won the bid, I don't see Warner Brothers and Netflix backing out. I think they want to try to get this deal done as soon as possible, so they can just move forward.
No, they're not going to. It's funny
Yeah.
because like how many people are just so like triggered by this, and it's just like, did y'all seriously think they weren't gonna get it? Like, come on.
Who knows? I mean, you heard stories, I think, a few months back where they weren't interested. It was going to be Paramount, and then maybe Disney
Yeah.
might come in and some other stuff. But if you listen to some of those people who have really followed this, like boots to the ground, like a Jeff Snyder or Christian Harloff or a John Campia, and anybody else out there from like the Rap and some of these other places, I'm sure they will tell you something different. Like, no, Netflix was kind of lurking or was still involved. They just didn't want it to be known. Or Saudi Arabia. Apparently, that was the other one. Saudi Arabia was also involved trying to get Warner Brothers. So I'm kind of glad that didn't happen. As for Paramount, I would have been very curious to see what they do with Warner Brothers and the DC properties. Clearly hearing rumors that they went out and talked to Zack Ryder about his DC movie. Told me what they thought of James Gunn and the fact that they went with Netflix. I feel like they were going to go with Netflix from the beginning. I think there was
Yeah, it makes sense.
deal, and this was just a bid to see if anybody else was going to, really, I don't know, just put a bid out there, just like if you have a position open and just put it out there and see what else, see who else is interested. You already know who your candidate is, but let's see what else we can find that can move us. But I think right now, if you got the email from Netflix, they made it clear that they purchased Warner Brothers. HBO Max still going to be out there for now. Still going to be out there. They're not making any changes yet or any of those other stuff like I mentioned. So I think that's good for now. I think whatever they have in development is going to be staying in development, or if that's not development in hell.
Right.
Yeah.
We still got movies that are coming out from Warner Brothers, which I hope they don't cancel. Is like Gremlins 3 is supposed
Well,
to
like
be.
I said, nothing's being canceled. Anything's in
I hope
development. Netflix right now, they're still negotiating stage. They haven't officially signed date. Here you go, goodbye. They're just in the negotiating stages. So it's like with baseball, where like a Japanese player is looking to come to America to play American baseball for Major League Baseball.
Yeah, it makes sense.
A lot of pro baseball teams will just throw bids out there, like that's how Ohtani with the Angels. They made the most. They outbid everybody to get him, and then
the question is that I also had for that too is that also with the anime and everything like that with Warner Brothers Japan. So I'm just guessing possibly that will also majority of that will also go to Netflix if that's the case.
Well, yeah, they inherit every contract that Warner Brothers still has, or just Warner Brothers Discovery still has or made within the last couple of years. Whatever's still in writing, they can't they can't just ignore it. And not unless there's something in the contract that says let's buy them out and then we move on, which I could see Netflix doing if they just don't want to be involved in certain things. But again, that won't be until 2027. At least that's my guess.
Yeah.
I think that's open as possibilities for Netflix. I'm very curious to see what they're going to do with some of the IPs. Like not just Game of Thrones, not just not just Game of Thrones, not just the Looney Tunes, Supernatural. What are the things that they're looking into? With this IP, clearly they really wanted this IP, so they have plans and ideas of what they want to do with it. Not just let's just own the IP for the sake of owning the IP, and they also own Nightmare on Elm Street now too. Let's not
Yeah,
forget
they
that's
do.
another
So,
thing, too.
oh man, so I should just, for people, if you still want to get the Nightmare on Elm Street Steelbook set, you want to pay a little more money, go on eBay. But if you still want to get it on the standard edition, pick that up as soon as possible. I'm gonna pick up mine. I ain't waiting.
Yeah, but I'm kind of curious to see what they're going to do after 2026 and what their plans are with their announcements.
Yeah,
Are they like some people are speculating? Are they going to do what Disney's done with Hulu, where kind of merge as one stream and we have Disney, Hulu, and ESPN? Maybe Netflix
that'd
would
be
do something like
interesting.
that. With Netflix and have Netflix and HBO instead of HBO Max. Maybe have it just HBO or something. I mean, you're clearly going to be spending probably $40. Because that's what Disney has going. If you want
Yeah,
Hulu, Disney, and ESPN, it's like $38. So I see Netflix up in the prices to like the gold label or whatever to $38 to $40 if you want those two, plus maybe live sports and whatever else they're going to throw on there, because they also, as a wrestling fan, they also now have AEW as well. So that's going to be a very interesting to see how that turns out with wrestling side of things. So I have a lot of I'm very interested to see how that's going to be turning out now that Netflix has to deal with both wrestling companies. One, they own AEW, the other one they have a 5-year deal with WWE. So I'm very curious to see where that's going to be in 5-6 years. Does Netflix keep AEW and in their contract with WWE after 5 years? We'll see. I mean, it looks like WWE has a deal with Disney and ESPN too, which we saw this year. So it feels like they probably knew that Netflix and Warner Brothers were talking, and they were probably trying to find an ace up their sleeve, which could explain why they went and made a deal with ESPN and all that other stuff. But that's a whole wrestling side thing. But again, that's just my theory. I don't believe in coincidences. I just think that stuff that we've seen the last couple of months, Warner, WWE and ESPN uniting and how fast track they did with having their PLEs on ESPN, and Zack Snyder throwing a lot of photos of his Batman v Superman, his Justice League, and some other stuff to get fans to do, I don't know, to get fans excited. So clearly he knew that Netflix was very serious about Warner Brothers. I mean, couldn't say anything, but he kept hinting something, and now he has a bunch of fans who love his movies, thinking that he's gonna reignite and continue his Justice League stuff, which I don't see happening. You never know. Anything's possible. I never thought Ben Affleck would come back as Batman. I never thought Zack Snyder would get his Justice League made after it was shelved. You never know. But I'm also curious to see what Netflix would do with the Batgirl, the one that was shelved for a tax write-up. I'm very curious if Netflix might look at that and think, that might be something we can throw on Netflix. Because that was official. That was made and everything. They just kind of shelved it. Zaslav shelved it. So that could be a possibility. I'd be very curious to see what that movie was like. So I can see Netflix kind of like, we have nothing to lose. Let's just throw it out on Netflix, So I'm very curious to see if they would do something like that with DC. Curious to know what other shows or movies they would love to bring out the next couple of years. I want to say I'm excited, but I'm very intrigued to see what they're going to do, because they have good writers for TV. They have solid movie writers as well. I mean, they can go and get any director they want to do a Netflix movie. Look at Guillermo del Toro. I mean, he has a deal with Netflix. I can see Guillermo del Toro, who's like probably had a thing for Swamp Thing or whatever, and was probably like, hey, Netflix has this. Maybe I can go and do something with Swamp Thing and Netflix. So I can see that being a possibility. So there's a whole lot of endless possibilities that Netflix could do with the IPs. I'm very curious what they're going to do with Looney Tunes, because that's such a prestige property in IP. So that's another thing.
I thought, I wouldn't be surprised. They're probably still going to have Looney Tunes on there, maybe on Netflix. I heard there might be a rumor going around that there's a new Looney Tunes movie, Speedy Gonzales, being made.
Yeah, I think that was that the one with the Wild Coyote being shelved? Because I know someone, I guess,
Well, there was a Wile E. Coyote movie, but now there was something 2 days ago was announced with Speedy Gonzales.
Oh, okay. I mean, again, it's like I said, right now the powers that be at Warner Brothers are still in power, probably for another year and a half. I think like I said, Netflix probably want to see what James Gunn does with Supergirl. They probably want to see what happens with Clayface. They want to see what happens with his Superman Man of Tomorrow. They want to see what happens with Matt Reeves, the Batman. I mean, they just confirmed they're going to do a season 2 of Penguin, or supposedly. I'm not
Yeah.
surprised because, people were super excited for Batman 2 after watching them season 1 of Penguin. If we're getting a second season of the Penguin, that tells me like they want to try to start building the Batman Part 2 up, and where does the Penguin go from there? So that's also excited. We can also talk about how Scarlett Johansson wants to be part of the Batman Part 2 after Emma Stone declined to be part of it. So I'm very curious to see who she plays. I mean, there's endless possibilities. Matt Reeves is known for being changing a character's race, so I can see him maybe switching a male character to a female character. I thought of Harvey Dent. If you read Earth 1 Batman, Two Faces actually becomes a female. It becomes Harvey's twin sister. So I can see Matt Reeves kind of switching things up and something like that. But he did say that the character that they're going to be doing that hasn't been seen in live action yet. So that's also exciting to see that she's going to get involved in the Batman Part 2 and Matt Reeves and things like that. But, Digital, what else do you want to talk about with the whole Netflix Warner Brothers? There's so much stuff we can really.
Oh
get
yeah,
into.
there's so much stuff that I wanted to talk about or whatever. Like I said before a little while ago, I was excited when Warner Brothers announced Gremlins 3, and I hope we're still getting it. And the reason why I'm going with very low expectations due to the fact Paramount canceled The Last Ronin. So that's why I'm like not like saying, oh, it's official, it's happening, like, no, we'll see what happens. I actually hope maybe, I know like a lot of people would like to see like more DC animated stuff. I hope, Netflix does do that. I hope they decide to, because the Batman, let's just be honest, the Batman Part 2 is going to be really big. And no offense, Netflix, but you need to put that in theaters. I know
Well,
you
yeah,
want to,
it's expected to be in theaters. I just
yeah,
mentioned like they have a deal with the
good,
movie chain and stuff till 2029, so
good.
they have to honor that. So it's going to go to
Unless
movie
unless they push
theaters.
it back again, unless they push back the movie until 2029 or something, or
Unless
2030.
I doubt it now, since Matt Reeves has been given almost 5, 6, almost 3, 4
Yeah,
years to get the sequel. So they gave him his
true.
time to do it. So
Yeah,
he's obviously in casting right now, which means they've already are happy with the script. So they're now in the part where they're going to start making the movie. So I
right.
doubt we're
So,
going to see any
I was also gonna say,
deadline being pushed.
of course, forgot to mention one more thing, but because HBO Max gave Batman Cape Crusader to Amazon Prime, so Amazon Prime still has that IP and everything like that on their streaming service.
Yeah, I mean that's not going to change. They probably had a deal with Paramount to do the Batman Cape Crusader, or not
Yeah,
Paramount, Amazon Prime. So like you said,
Amazon
so
Prime. Yeah.
yeah, I don't see that changing at all.
No, not really, or anything like that. So I guess they're like safe with that IP and everything. Honestly, like I said, it's just gonna be like a bunch of things, which I honestly believe that, of course, I love it. Welcome to Derry. So probably season 2 is probably gonna transition to Netflix. I'm guessing. Yeah.
It's possible. I mean, like I said, I mean they're going to keep HBO Max for now, and
Yes.
there's endless possibilities. I mean, they've already greenlit a season 2 and probably a season 3 of Welcome to Derry. I mean,
Yeah.
people are saying this episode's a 10 out of 10 that's coming out tomorrow night, so I'm excited.
Well, I'm excited for it. I
Uh,
cannot wait to watch it. It's
according to
like,
critics,
yeah,
yeah,
I heard they say it's gonna be amazing. So
the
I'm like,
best episode of the season.
yeah.
So, which I'm not surprised because I feel like the episode before the finale is always the best episode because that's
Of
where
course.
everything that's been
We're
built
wrapping
up
we're
just
wrapping up for season 1,
drops to
So, yeah,
chaos. Yeah. So,
you
uh,
know?
yeah. So yeah, I wanted to go back to Paramount as well because I know they're still butthurt they didn't get Warner Brothers. I did thought they
Well,
were
you
going to
can
get
try
Warner
more.
Brothers because Paramount started showing Batman the Animated Series on their streaming service. So there are a lot of people who were kind of expecting maybe that they were getting DC or Warner Brothers, but obviously we know now 3 days later they didn't get Warner Brothers. So I'm very curious to see how Paramount's gonna try to pull something, which is kind of hilarious, but at the same time it's like, dude, it seems like Warner Brothers, Zaslav, and Netflix already had some kind of back end deal, and this was just kind of like, let's just throw it out there, see who else is interested.
Yeah,
Um,
that's just facts. Because I honestly saw it too. They actually thought they were going to get Warner Brothers, and a lot of you started to see like a lot of like yeah, Batman the animated series was on there, and I'm like, what the heck's going on? I'm like, oh, I see.
I know Netflix is very interested in like their movies and streaming stuff and IP stuff. I'm very curious to know what the gaming stuff's going to be like, where they're gonna do the gaming stuff, what they're gonna do with other stuff that's also, that they also own, like the toys, the video games, the
Yeah.
rides, there's other
Oh,
stuff like what are they gonna do with that? Are they gonna keep that? Are they gonna sell it, or they not like sell it, but license it somewhere? This also explains why Tom McFarlane's DC deal probably ended uh, going into next year because again Warner Brothers Discovery was already looking to put this out for bid, and they didn't want to have a contract with Toys for now. I mean, who knows? I mean, they still have toys coming out with DC next year as well, just bits and pieces
yeah,
of it.
that's facts.
So that could be an explanation too. So I'm very curious to what Netflix does with how they license things out to, if they decide to do that.
We know
With the
how.
McFarlanes or with a
Yeah,
video game company or whatever else. I'm very curious to see how that's going to unfold because now they're in some new territory besides just making movies and TV shows.
yeah, and that's facts right there. And just a suggestion for everybody, I suggest y'all pick up whatever Warner Brothers titles you can get now, whatever, just in case, because you know what Netflix likes to do, pick them up ASAP, ASAP.
Yeah, just go to eBay and buy a boatload of DVDs, Blu-rays. I mean, before they
Yep.
start going up in price, because that's going to be the next thing once they announce that they're going to start printing DVDs and Blu-rays.
Yeah.
That's probably coming by the end of 2026, in my opinion. Or our, that's my opinion about, like Digital said, that's going to be a thing that I can see, them, ending, which sucks. But again, that's just how Netflix's role. They want you to purchase their streaming service. If you want to see the thing that you want, you have to purchase Netflix. I mean, that's kind of what
Yep.
Disney's been
That's
doing,
how
and
they're
that's what
doing it.
Netflix is going to be doing. Um,
You'll be lucky if you even get a physical release. And how they usually do it, they wait like 3 to 4 years just to release like it and everything like that with the big titles.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. I'm also curious to see what other IPs Netflix wants to bring back or do next. I mean, you mentioned Gremlins. I can see Gremlins still. They
Yeah,
still want to do a Gremlins movie or something, but I can see them do something with Nightmare on Elm Street now. Maybe that's something they've been looking to do.
that's a strong
Um,
possibility.
they're definitely going to be looking at some of their big IPs and they can do to bring back. I mean, they also own Wizard of Oz, so it's possible
Oh, they
they
do.
can.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, they do. Yeah.
It's possible they can probably go. Let's do a Wizard of Oz series or something. Let's really do something with that. There's so many things they could possibly do.
What would you want to see Netflix to do if this deal actually goes through?
What's going through? I mean, it'll never happen. But I always wanted to see a live action Question TV show. I feel like that's
Okay.
it's low level, but as a fan of like detective and mystery and things like that, I would have loved to see a Question TV show. Maybe Netflix can afford to do something small and do some mystery detective thing. But again, that's a long shot. I would love to see it, but I doubt they'll do it.
Okay. So I guess
Maybe
what
do
I would.
some maybe do some TV series with the DC properties. Maybe talk to James Gunn about like, what are the characters or ideas he had, that they were working on that they haven't, that they liked that they're willing to greenlight that wasn't greenlight by Zaslav. You know, the Wallace show could come back again. I know they're looking at Checkmate, but that was a show they teased at the end of Peacemaker season 2. I can see them probably doing something like that. I can see Netflix really throwing some money because they spent $82.7 billion on this, and so they're definitely going to
Yeah.
be throwing more money at like DC stuff, the Harry Potter stuff, which again they're doing a reboot TV show, which I can see being on HBO Max next year, and then maybe
They
switch
said
to
it's more
Netflix or
based off the
whatever.
book and everything like that.
Yeah, they're expanding on a lot of things, so I'm very curious. They did not announce who's Voldemort, so that was they
Uh,
casted him, but they never announced him.
I think I'll say what I would want to say. See, I think very simple. Robert Englund said, of course, he would play Freddy Krueger again if it was an animated series. I think Netflix should talk to Robert Englund if they decide to do an animated series. Do it ASAP. And also, of course, I would love to see Ash vs. Evil Dead for a next season. Whether or not they come back for a new season or they actually do it animated. Those are the two projects I'd love to see.
Yeah, I don't see Freddy being an animated series. I see that being live action. Netflix, I think, if they do anything, they're gonna go live action, and I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure they can probably write a blank check to Robert Englund to come back to do a live action Freddy.
I hope so.
If they give
I
him a
hope he
blank
takes-
check, he's not going to say no to it.
Yeah,
When
I
he
hope
talks. I mean, look at Donald Trump trying to get Paramount to do a $100 million Rush Hour 4 that nobody's asking for.
Oh, did that go? Are they still doing that or no?
Supposedly they still are, but we'll see if that really happens.
Okay.
Again, that's Paramount, but
Yeah.
but yeah, I feel like it's the end of an era for digital media and physical media, maybe for movies. I feel this is going to be another chain of reaction over the next
Do
decade.
you think by 2030 it's going to be gone, or you said by possibly next year 2026 it's going to be gone?
Well, movie theaters? No.
No, not movie theaters. Talk about physical media like Blu-rays and 4K.
Probably the beginning of 2027.
Okay, 2027. Okay.
Netflix has yet officially owned them. They're still negotiating, but they did announce that they did buy Warner Brothers, so that's where they are right now.
All right, so you heard it, guys. So, like I said before, start picking up anything Warner Brothers related or anything like that, physical media, and grab it ASAP, including the Bruce Timm, cartoons. Grab that.
No, yeah. I mean, I would say go to eBay and probably just buy a large collection of DVD
Oh, you
movies
can
from Warner
get
Brothers.
them on Amazon right now for cheap. Perfect.
Same with the eBay. Let's talk about other DC news. I mean, right now it looks like the casting for Brainiac is Claes Bang,
Looks
Sam
good, huh?
Rockwell, and Matt Smith. So my pick is Matt Smith. That makes the most sense
Hey.
to play Brainiac.
I'm
And the
excited
rumor is
for
that's
this.
What? What are you talking about?
Superman 2, because listen,
Okay.
I wanted it to be Brainiac.
Yeah, they finally announced it. They announced it this year, and they're looking to casting. And I think Matt Smith just has that right look for a Brainiac, which I don't see why they would not go Matt Smith. The other thing I want to mention with Netflix is that they also going to be owning Big Bang Theory and I think Friends and also not Friends, Big Bang Theory and
They mentioned Friends, yeah.
Friends as well. So they're going to own a lot of TV stuff. Again, I'm very curious to see what else they do. I mean, they also I think
they're going to be owning Cartoon Network. Yeah.
Cartoon Network. I think they'll probably own the CW stuff too. Network CW.
Oh, that's a strong possibility. Yeah, I believe
TNT,
so.
TNT, TBS. I'm very curious to Warner Brothers games. Very curious to see what happens. Mortal Kombat, NetherRealm Studios.
Yeah, that's already going to Netflix. Yep. Mm-hmm.
They got Mortal Kombat 2, which I'm excited for next year. And they announced Mortal Kombat 3, so I'm excited for that too. Again, Netflix will probably come back and say, we love Mortal Kombat 2. Let's do a spin-off series on Netflix or on HBO Max. We'll throw, $10 million per season or something to make that happen. Again, the amount of money they just threw at Warner Brothers, they're going to be going through their IP, and they're going to start announcing stuff probably going into 2027. Will James Gunn still be still running DCU? I think that all depends on what happens with Superman Man of Tomorrow and what happened with Supergirl and Clayface and the Green Lantern series. They did announce the Titans. They did announce the development of Titans and the Batman Brave and the Bold still. So I think those right now are still in development. But if anything starts slipping with their DC stuff, well, who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe now that Netflix owns Warner Brothers, maybe Paul Dini comes back at some point to do some DC stuff.
That's true.
I would really love to see him come back.
I know a lot of other people, like the Snyder fans, want to see that universe come back. I don't know what's going to happen with that.
I don't know. Again, like Netflix. I mean, if you do, let's say something. Let's play hypothetical. Let's say Netflix, because they love Zack Snyder so much, even though they canceled all his movie projects, they still want to be in business with him, and they know he loves the DC stuff. They know there's some unfinished business there. Let's say hypothetically they say, okay, let's do something with your DC world. Since we have HBO and Netflix together, let's put this as a Netflix brand only versus what DC and James Gunn's doing. So I can see that. And you still got Matt Reeves doing his Batman while you got James Gunn doing his DCU. So I think the question will be is, who's going to come back to work with Zack Snyder? Maybe
Yeah.
Cavill, maybe Gal Gadot, Ben Affleck. I don't know. Maybe Ben's probably done with Batman. He has other stuff he has to
Strong
worry about,
possibility and
other
everything.
stuff he wants to
Yeah.
be involved in. You know.
Yeah.
But again, that's just hypothetical. I don't see it, but again, never say never in this world now. I mean, so many things has happened that I never thought would happen. So,
Yep.
um, and I don't know what Zack Snyder's next project going to be. So maybe
Nobody.
it's something with Netflix and Warner Brothers. Maybe it's something that Zack Snyder had a very interested thing in. Um, and now Warner Brothers is bought by Netflix. Maybe they kind of look at Zack Snyder and go like, "Hey, do you want to do something more with 300? Do you want to do something more with Watchmen?
Yeah.
Those were your two successful stuff that you had with Warner Brothers. Now that we own the IP, do you want to go back to those things? Do you want to do another spinoff or something related to Dawn of the Dead?
Yep.
I don't know if that's owned by Warner Brothers. I don't think so, but 300 and Watchmen could be the two things they could probably talk about.
Mm.
There's so many things that they could really throw out there. I know people who love who still invest in the Zack Snyder DCEU. I just don't know if Netflix wants to go there right away.
That makes sense.
Once they officially own Warner Brothers and they start making some changes and start announcing IPs and what they're going to do. Because there's some fans out there who want to see a Batman 3 with Michael Keaton and Tim Burton. That'd be exciting somehow. You know, Tim Burton's in the business of Netflix.
That would be awesome.
So it's
Tim
Burton's working with Netflix and the whole Wednesday stuff. I could definitely see
that happening.
Worlds colliding at some point. Maybe they do a Batman Dark Knight Returns or possibly a Batman Beyond.
True.
Again, endless possibilities. You know, Mike Keaton still has that energy to come back to do Batman just like he does with Beetlejuice.
So there is a strong possibility because remember we were supposed to there was a canceled Batman Beyond movie that was the people that were making it that did the Spider-Verse, and I guess like Warner Brothers canceled.
Well, that was an animated series,
animated
thing,
animated movie. It was an animated movie, yeah.
So yeah, I mean, that could be, the Phil Lloyd and whoever else I was with them, they can probably pitch that again to Netflix. I mean, they pitched.
I say do it.
But again, James Gunn right now still oversees DC Studios, so still got to talk to James Gunn. You can't just go to Netflix, without talking to James Gunn first. So
that is facts. Until like I guess what 2029 until the contract's up or something like that.
With James Gunn,
yeah.
Who knows? I mean, I think right now Netflix is just going to see what happens with like I said, the next stuff that he has in development. I think that's what they want to see. Is this stuff going to make money? Are fans still interested? Superman was a big hit this year, and Peacemaker season 2 was overall a good season. There wasn't a bad season. I mean, so it's like there's still people are still invested in what James Gunn's doing. I'm still investing in what he's doing. I love his Superman movie. I want to see the Olsen spinoff or the Jimmy Olsen spinoff that's supposedly in development. I want to see what else they do.
I was gonna say, you know what? Also, Netflix could do. I would love to see a Spectre animated series.
Spectre would be good. I mean, I know you want to do animated stuff. I mean, Netflix does have the people to do that, so I can see their people and the IPs getting into that. So it's possible. I mean, endless possibilities.
I think it would work out great. Or they could do a live action miniseries to see how that does.
Yeah, I mean, they have all the money in the world. They can throw money at everything and come up with streaming stuff and movie stuff.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm very curious to see what else they announce. So. But other than that, I feel like what's Disney's next move? They got Doomsday next year. Obviously Disney.
So many rumors and links going around. I'm not believing it until I see it for myself. Yeah.
Disney and Netflix are now the big two rivals now. Paramount's right there as a third wheel. But I feel like right now it's Netflix and Disney as the two powerhouse, with Apple still lurking around somewhere, and Paramount's just the third wheel.
Yep.
I'm very, very curious to see what happens. I'm a little intrigued, and I'm not excited, but I'm intrigued to see what Netflix does with these IPs. I really hope new movie theaters do not go out of business. I think now that this merger has happened, I think probably within a year or two we're going to start seeing more movie theaters going out of business. And
yeah, it's gonna be sad and everything like that, because I love going to the movie theaters. It's
since the summertime, I think Wicked's been the only movie that got people to go into theaters. That, and I think The Conjuring are the only two things that really made up some money, some serious money.
Well,
know.
for instance, I was gonna say Demon Slayer
And Black
Chainsaw Man.
and Black Mass 2 made some money too. I mean, as well. That's the other IP that made some money too.
Yeah.
You know, other than that, I feel like this has been other than being a great year for Warner Brothers with their movies. I feel like overall we just haven't had a lot of great movies.
Yeah, that's just facts. I mean, like when
Last
it comes to majority of their IPs and everything like that, can't lie about that.
Yeah, I mean, the last movie I went to go see was Black Phone 2. I mean, everything else that I wanted to see, ended up seeing at home by renting it from digital on digital on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
You know, and then Netflix has other movies that came out this year I haven't seen, so I'm gonna check those out. Same with Peacock and same with Amazon Prime. I mean, I just watched a few more movies from Amazon Prime
Yeah,
with their deals.
yeah, it kind of sucks, but at the same time, I guess like this is the new way of the generation because I love going to the movie theaters. I think it's fun to do. You know, it's a great time.
Same here, but I think when you have movies that are like 2.5, 3 hours long, like Avatar 3 is going to be, I mean, do you want to spend that money? Do you want to get there early or get there before the movie starts, get your popcorn, get your drinks, spend 10 minutes, get that, sit in your seat with other people, starting, making noises and distracting while
Yeah.
you're watching the movie. So that's been the other issue with movie theaters is that they just don't have enough people to maintain the audience of to stay calm and relax and watch the movie. I mean, it's not like when Star Wars: The Force Awakens, when that came out like years ago, a decade ago, where you had ushers, you had people who were maintaining crowd control and told some people right in front of us, like if you try to save some seats, we're going to kick you out.
Yeah,
Remember that
I remember.
for the Force Awakens. So I mean,
Yeah, I was we were laughing at that. That was funny. Yeah,
that was 10 years. I think 10 years ago.
It was 10 years ago. Yeah.
About 10 years ago. It's amazing how 10 years later, movie theaters are not the same anymore. So, and I think COVID has had something to do with it as well. I think COVID, in my opinion, fast track with how we see movie theaters and how things are now versus where it could have been maybe after 2023 or something, 2030 or whatever. Who knows?
It's honestly kind of sad to be perfectly honest. I never thought I would actually bring this topic up, but it's just like what is the most money I think has been making it international is of course the Demon Slayer film, which is season 5 part 1 movie, and then the Chainsaw Man movie made the most in the box office to me.
Yeah. For animation, yeah, of course. I mean, I know you're a big animation guy. For live action, I mean, obviously Avatar, Minecraft. Minecraft was pretty big.
Minecraft made the most, I think. Or was it Avatar? Is it Avatar?
Jurassic World Rebirth made some money.
Oh, that movie was terrible.
So Lilo and Stitch made a lot of money internationally.
That was going to make a lot of money to begin with. They had plans for that. Disney either had plans it was going to be either a hit or a miss, and it made a lot of money.
Zootopia made some money too. I mean, with the international box office. So
yeah,
the international box office, I think it's still there in some form. I just think domestically, people aren't really seeing movies as much as they should be in theaters. They're just waiting for
it's just the facts. I mean, it's sad, but at the same time, it's just reality, So like I said, I want to see the Batman Part 2 in theaters, absolutely, because
it's going in theaters. Like I told you before, that I just mentioned it like twice already.
Yeah, I know.
There's a deal with the movie theater chain for these movies to come on theaters for a specific time. Now I can see Netflix probably looking with their attorneys going through what are loopholes to get out of it, because I'm pretty sure that's going to be something they're going to look into and try to make the window for the movie to be in theaters smaller than 45 days. Maybe there's a way they can pull some shit. I mean,
they'll make that.
I can see that happening.
Probably a week or something. I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't say a week, probably instead of 45 days. I can see them trying to pull some like 30 days or some shit, or if the movie's not making any money after 2 weeks, they take it out of theaters.
There you go.
Or mitigate how many theaters are going to actually play the movie.
Yeah.
I mean, people still want to go to the movie theaters, but they just want to see something that's going to be worth their time. They're not going to go in there to see crap.
Yeah. Also, what I wanted to mention too is, of course, which is quick mention real quick, is that like before we get physical copies, now what they do is release like digital first before you get your physical copy, which is just insane. Which is like that's messed up, But it is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. That's just how things are now. They feel like if you want to see it now, you'll you'll spend the $20 or $24 to see it
Yeah.
from home, which I've done for some movies that I really wanted to see, and some were pretty good, and some were a bit of a letdown. But you know, again, that's just the world we're in now,
True.
and it's going to be very interesting to see where things are in the next 5 years.
Yeah, it is. I mean, honestly, like I said, we might not have the theaters in 5 years.
Maybe not, but 5 years will be in 2030, and maybe Netflix will making some groundbreaking decisions. And same with Disney, same with Paramount, same with Apple. Maybe there's other ways they can get you to see movies without going to the movie theater.
True.
Critics today, I think, if you want to watch stuff at home, they'll send you like some kind of link to go watch the movie.
Yeah.
That you can't see anywhere else. So I'm pretty sure eventually maybe that's something they're gonna do to audience, where if you want to see something within a 5-hour window, like a live action movie, you'll pay probably $35 to see that movie.
I can see them actually doing that. I was gonna say, like, with other stuff too, where it's like, if they say, like, hey, if this new movie came out and you can just, like, buy it from here, and it's like, oh, you're paying, like, okay, this movie first came out, so you're paying, like, I don't know, like maybe like $26 for it or something, if you want the high def one, the ultra 4K one.
Listen, physical copies, it's gonna be like freaking drugs. You want them, you're gonna have to pay a premium just to get one.
Oh, I know.
You want that Batman Batman 2 on, Steelbook and high def, all that other stuff. It's gonna be $50 somewhere on an eBay or somewhere in a black market.
Oh, I know that's a fact. But I mean, like, with digital and everything like that, when there's no more movie theaters or anything like that, I can just see them like, hey, the movie's out and you pay this amount if you want the high def one, the ultra 4K one, or something like that. That's how I'm seeing it.
Yeah, I can see that too. I mean, it's like I said, that's kind of what physical media is going to be. It's going to be like a black market or some crazy things, just to spend just to pay $50 for one movie.
Yeah, man. That's why I'm still collecting physical media until it's gone.
Yeah, me too. But do you have anything else you want to talk about digital, or are we?
Oh yeah. I wanted to get into this topic real quick. Sure. Of course, like, when I heard the announcement, of course, about Gremlins 3, I'm very excited about it. So I honestly hope it doesn't get canceled. I want to see this happen. I think it's time. We haven't seen.
I think it's happening. I just think that they found the right story and all sorts of stuff. And I see this being another Christmas movie.
True. And I think also it's because of the success of the Gizmo Gremlins animated series. Yeah,
that's right. That came out a year ago, and that was pretty good. Yep. It got some track. So there's definitely an interest for Gremlins. I'm excited for it. I'm probably gonna go rewatch the original, because I think that one was a Christmas movie.
Oh, I love the original one. I just watched it like 2 days ago. It's still great to this day.
Yeah, now that we're in Christmas time, I have like a lot of Christmas movies I'll probably check out.
Yeah.
Batman Returns, Die Hard, Lethal Weapon, Gremlins. Jingle All the Way.
Jingle All the Way is awesome. Yeah,
that's another good one.
That's a great one. It's funny to me because, at the same time, when you have I hope what they do is of course they're gonna bring back Stripes, the leader, which I honestly believe, because Stripes has to be in the Gremlins. He's the leader of the pack, whatever. But I honestly hope we do get to see that talking Gremlin come back. That was pretty interesting.
Oh, the one who was doing interviews, and that was
cool.
Yeah. I'm all for it. I'm sure they're gonna throw a lot of nostalgic at that movie. I don't see why not. I think that's gonna be a big nostalgic 80s for the older audiences, and to reintroduce their kids and whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And again, we get some closure with Gremlins.
Yeah, that's gonna be great. I'm excited to actually see that, because I've been waiting for a long time for them to actually announce a Gremlins.
And here's what sucks. I can see that going straight to Netflix instead of
It will. I see.
If it does happen, I see it going straight to Netflix.
I'm still gonna watch it.
Or Max, whatever they decide, or HBO, whatever they decide to put whatever on for Netflix. I can see them looking at this going like, I don't see this making money, but we like it. This could be something we can do for the holiday season, and drop it on HBO or Netflix or whatever.
Or Netflix for the holiday season and everything like that. And it takes place on Christmas again. There you go.
Yeah, that'd be cool. So
yep.
Do we have anything else we want to talk about? I feel like we kind
Yeah.
of expressed how we felt about Netflix and Warner Brothers.
Well, I was also gonna say, of course, of other stuff too, but we already know we're getting another Matrix movie, and that's possibly gonna be going to we got Netflix and everything like that.
Yeah, nobody's asking for another
I
Matrix movie.
know, I know. And trust me, it's happening. They're beating a dead horse. I don't even want it.
I mean, they're working on another John Wick movie, which I'm interested in seeing, but I don't feel you need another one. But again,
They're also
Lionsgate needs
doing
some
an
money.
anime too. Yeah, they're doing that. They already had
Yeah,
the spin-off too with Ballerina.
We've got to have money.
Yep, unfortunately, that's what it's all about. Ain't about story, it's about burning that money. Burn it all.
yeah.
It's a shame though, because like I said, man, I mean, it is what it is. Also, of course, uh with Netflix, we'll see what they do with a lot of Warner Brothers IPs, characters they never used before in their entire lifetime. I think they should use them in their IP. I think that'd be a good idea.
Right. So,
Would love to see the Creeper.
oh, for from DC,
Yeah.
I'm all for a Creeper show or cartoon or live action. I'm very curious to see how that
That'd be great.
works.
Yeah, that'd be funny.
I mean, Bruce Timm and Paul Dini did a phenomenal job making him so likable and funny in Batman and New Adventures.
Yeah, they did. That's why I thought it would possibly work if Netflix actually did that IP and everything like that, and it would be hilarious. Whether you do it animated or live action, I think it would be great.
Like I said, I mean, they got money to burn, and especially the amount of money they just spent to get Warner Brothers. You better
yeah.
believe they're going to be throwing a lot of like DC live action shows, movies on both HBO and Netflix within the next 5-6 years. So,
exactly.
whether James Gunn's there or not, that's Netflix is going to be tanking out a lot of stuff. You want that You want that Nightwing show? You want it so badly? Here you go. You want a live action Titans done better? Here you go. You want another Wonder Woman live action movie? Sure, we'll put it in theaters for limited release, and it'll be back on Netflix. They'll, I mean, they have money to burn, and again, like that's mainly why they wanted Warner Brothers. It's just they want to compete with Disney, and this just makes it much bigger than Disney right now. They were already equal to Disney, but this really put them over Disney right now with acquiring.
Yeah, that's fact. That Netflix
know.
worm just came in and just gobbled up the symbol of Warner Brothers and said, "You're mine."
Yeah, I mean the two biggest rivals now is Disney and Netflix. Where it is right now, with Apple watching the whole thing unfold and Paramount lurking in the shadows and pissed they didn't get Warner Brothers.
Paramount got their two properties. They got like TMNT and Sonic.
Oh, they got more stuff. They got Mission Impossible. They got they also have a whole thing with Amazon. I think Amazon.
Well, don't forget Avatar and
you also got Amazon, and you got Amazon Prime out there too. So
true.
Amazon Prime.
Yeah, that's true.
They gobbled up a lot of the MGM properties like James Bond.
Well, yeah, and also they're
RoboCop.
They're doing RoboCop. Yeah, that's a fact. They are doing it.
Yeah, let's not forget Amazon Prime. It's Amazon Prime and Paramount Plus. Paramount both looking in the shadows at Netflix and Disney Plus with Apple there as well. So it's going to be interesting. That's five entertainment big head studios with Sony as well. Somewhere in the picture, I know where Sony's at.
Listen, you know what Sony's doing right now? The only thing Sony's doing right now, they're rubbing their hands together. I'm like, oh, really? Oh, you're about to see what we have planned. Yeah, they're not saying nothing.
Please, they're still trying to figure out freaking Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse, Cross the Spider-Verse. I mean, what happened to that movie? They really like pushed that back and changed everything.
That movie's still coming out, but they keep like I guess
it was supposed to come out like 2 years ago.
Yeah, we had that damn writer's strike or whatever. Yeah,
of course, writer's strike. But the movie was supposed to be already done, and then they changed everything around. And I don't know where it is right now. But speaking of Sony, I mean, who knows where Sony's at the next couple of years? I mean, they're lucky they have some kind of thing with Disney, where Disney saved them on Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's true. It's taking
So,
like a
I
long
forgot that
time.
Sony's still around.
Yo, they're still around or whatever because they're the ones that are in charge of the of course, like they do Crunchyroll, they do Amiplex of America, so they're still
Right.
like popular and everything like that. Like a lot of their anime title movies, like I said, like Demon Slayer made bank, and also like Chainsaw Man, no
Yeah.
joke, that yeah.
Yep. But I think that's going to do it for us. I don't have anything else to talk about. We'll see what the future holds with Netflix and their and all their new IPs, and I'm very curious to see what happens with DC and the DC comic side of things. Not just the movies, but the comic books, other media's, video
True.
games, rides, things like that.
I think the
I am
rides
kind of
might go to, I don't know, maybe Universal something. I don't know.
well, they'll probably license them out to somewhere. I don't know, but I'm very curious to see what happens next. It's definitely another big game changer. It's definitely gonna change
Yes.
Hollywood. It's definitely gonna change a lot of things in the next 5-6 years. So
Yeah,
brace yourself, a storm's coming.
pretty much. And
So.
you know that, like I said, guys, that Netflix red worm is just gobbled up. That Warner Brothers symbol, it's done.
Yep. It's now Warner Brothers Netflix. So maybe it's the new intro ad. It's Warner Brothers Netflix. So.
Yep.
All right, y'all have a good one. Have a good night. Thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. If you could, please click like. Thank you so much. You can catch me on the Cool Kids review stream. I think they're streaming tonight. I think it's Five Nights at Freddy 2. I think they're streaming. I'm not going to be on it because I haven't seen that movie, but please check them out. I'm sure they have a lot to say.
I heard the movie's awesome.
Yeah, I heard that too. You can also catch me on Storms Nation tomorrow night, and you can also catch me with Austin and Swifty whenever we do a good old wrestling podcast. Y'all have a good night. Also, you can check out Digital's channel as well, who has some stuff on his channel with anime.
Yeah, and also my second channel, Digital Entertainment. Like I said, the reason why, guys, I haven't uploaded is because it pissed me off what Paramount did by canceling what I wanted for a very long time, the Last Ronin movie. I'm going to be doing an update video of that, and just expressing my opinion and everything like that of why they shouldn't have done it.
Cool, man.
All right.
Well, y'all have a good night. Peace.
Later.